I'm going to start off as well. Whether I told you so.
Okay.
I got in a
I'm
Twitter
gonna.
argument with a guy that refused to believe Derek Brunson could beat him. And I was like, then you're watching the wrong sport. Of course he could beat him. He didn't just beat him, did he? Oh.
I was really, really impressed with Derek Brunson. I thought he didn't just come out and beat him. He come out and looked better than he's ever looked. Like, I've never seen Derek Brunson look that good. Everything. Like, he was patient for once. Like, I've seen him try and go for takedown, and just constantly getting stuffed and then getting like all worn out and then trying to throw. And obviously he's got great left hand, but it's just he always sort of gets ahead of himself and then just gets worn out. But this time he was just so much more controlled. I've never seen him look that good. So literally about 2 minutes into the first round, I was like, oh, I think this could go the other way here. I was thinking, oh, I really wanted Edmund to win. Obviously, I said in our predictions, like, I'm hoping Edmund's got this. But yeah, within 2 minutes, I was thinking, I'm not sure. And then when it left the first round, I was like, oh, this is the real test now because Edmund's had like one fight out of the first round. So he's not.
Darren Stewart, the Englishman,
I think it was
who's
UFC
fighting
debut.
who's fighting this week. Yeah, he went split decision. Darren actually took him to split decision. Yeah.
So I was thinking, well,
after the contender series, yeah, that was it.
What's his gas tank going to look like? How is this going to play? And then very easily we saw he was just getting worn out. And then at the end of the second round, oh my God, when he took him to the ground and he was just pounding on him.
You could see he was done. When that buzzer went, you could see it was done, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And facially.
And I think he literally just rolled over, just like dead. And when he got back to his stool, he stumbled. Even when he got back up, he was really uneasy on his feet. It was like, nah. And Herb with the recent issues of Herb was very quick to call this.
Yeah, I actually think that was the perfect stoppage. Credit where credit is due. It was a really good stoppage. He was on it. He was on it all night today, actually. Yeah. All the stoppages.
If it wasn't for the end of the second round, I would say that was early. But because he had already had all of that beating, it was like, now you're just looking for a moment to stop the fight. And
he knew it was coming. I bet Herb knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, just proves as well how good the people that have beaten Brunson has made it look easy. How good Israel is.
Yes. Yeah.
When he just lit him up in a round, one
round. But also that was Derek Brunson being, as I say, he's never been like this before. That was Derek Brunson being way too aggressive and way too trying to commit to takedowns and stuff and just not getting anywhere. But the difference with this fight, him being patient, was also he was against a boxer and a kicker. And if you're a boxer and a wrestler, going against a kicker is great because you just want to catch their legs. So that sort of distinguished the kicks from SHAHBAZYAN. So then it was just like a boxer versus boxer, but one of them's got wrestling and a gas tank. So
he showed his good wrestling, didn't he? I haven't seen his wrestling that much, and it was really good. Yeah. Really good. Held him well. Good takedowns.
He did. Edmund also did have good takedown defense, but just couldn't keep with it.
You see how green he looks now, can't you? You can see the 22-year-old greenness in him, where something doesn't go his way. Derek's not falling over like everyone else has, maybe, and he got hurt. That's the first time I've seen him properly hurt, and he didn't take it too well. But again, he's still developing. He's young. 11-1 is not a bad record. The people he's beaten, he's still in the top 10.
Yeah.
But I said on Twitter, a guy got on an argument on Twitter, and I just said to him, it's going to go one or two ways. One is SHAHBAZYAN is going to perform the same way Israel does. Stun him, defeat him, make it look so easy, and then we get another contender, another, shark in the tank. Or Brunson's going to stop the hype train and say, hey, slow down here. Like, this is the big boys now. The only people Brunson's lost to are elite fighters.
Yeah.
He's been in the UFC a long time. He's not a slouch. People slept on him.
Yeah, it's also because he's been in it for a long time. Did it again. It's also because he's in the UFC for a long time that, oh my God.
That's right. Your voice is all that matters.
It's going to be different from Wednesday anyway, because I'm back home Wednesday, so I'll actually be able to use a computer. But the difference with Brunson being that because he's been in that that top end for a long time, it is easy to discount him, and it is easy to call him a gatekeeper. I still think he is a bit, because this, gatekeepers don't let everyone pass them. He just stopped this guy from coming up through.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, amazing performance from him. But I mean, if you now put Brunson against anyone in the top 5, that's still a really difficult fight for Brunson. That's not an easy fight. He may have stopped this guy from coming up, but it doesn't mean that he is still going to be starching somebody else, But all that said and done, this was his, a great performance from him. So
it really was.
His next fight.
It really was. And if he does get another run, it'll be his last one. I think he's 36, Brunson. So it's not going to last too much longer.
Unless he starts going up, unless he wants to go into like light heavyweight. That if you start moving
he's
up,
not that
then
big.
Age changes.
Edmund was bigger than him. He's bigger.
Actually, yeah. So Brunson, I always used to think looked big for the division, and on this occasion they looked almost the same. And I was thinking, oh, Edmund looks like he's packed on all our sides here. Yeah. That may have also affected his gas tank as well.
It might have. I think it was good they kept it at 3 rounds as well.
Why is that? Because I didn't know that.
Because they weren't the original main event. So when the main event fell off, I can't actually remember who the original was. It was so insignificant to me. When the original main event fell off, they bumped them up to the main card, but they hadn't trained for 5 rounds at all, and it was within it was only a few days before we originally filmed the preview show. So I think they both agreed 3 rounds is good. Also helps with nerves, I think, with both of them being a main event. Brunson's been a main event a few times. This is Edmund's first time, and it hopefully not last. But he was not going to main event again for a while because he's going to have to take someone that's below a top 10 ranked opponent, unless he fits in for an injury or something like that. But it fits in good to. Okay.
Sorry, I was going to say we did only say last week that there's a lot of O's that are going to go. And this just happens to be one of them. There's too many people coming in to the UFC right now that still have undefeated records, and there are hype trains on a lot of them as we see them coming up, and there's going to be a lot to go, and this is just one of them. Yeah,
definitely was a hype train stoppage, which is good because I felt bad for Brunson, the amount of abuse he was getting. And I felt like I had to defend him, saying, hey, he could get starched here, but I'm willing to put my nuts on the line here and say, I don't think he will. I think he's not that bad. He's just been made to look a bit average by some elite people. He's not a bad fighter. He's quality, absolutely brilliant. And he didn't blitz in. As you said, he wasn't so aggressive. He didn't just bull rush in. He didn't blitz. He was patient, like a Gaethje. Instead of just standing there and brawling in the last fight against Ferguson, he just kind of takes his time, be patient, listen to the corner. They're there for a reason. Unless you're Mike Perry and you got your misses. But
Edmund still looked good as well. It was when he started getting caught
first round
up
looked good.
The cage.
Good.
He started getting caught up against the cage and he didn't really have much of an answer. And Brunson just sort of wrestled him into the second round, and then from there it was just sort of tapered off, didn't it?
Yeah, he needs to borrow some Rousey judoka. Just do some hip throws. But who's the other O that went as well? Was it Moon? Oh, we watched it. We're talking at the same time.
Yeah, there was two.
Munoz? I want to say it's called Munoz. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just remind myself.
I don't think I wrote the prelims down. It's Munoz versus
Johnny Munoz versus Nate Menez.
Menez. I was thinking Melas for some reason. Menez. That's it. Yeah.
Menez,
so Menez got the win. We thought that wasn't as straightforward as it was a 30-27.
I think it was a 29-27.
29-27.
I remember straight after it, I texted you saying, I don't agree with this score. Like, even if Menez was going to win, I don't think that's 29.
Because of the point deduction of the 4 bull shots or 3 bull shots. I still think he won 2 rounds to me. But
I was
might have been a bit biased.
Munoz than I was Menez. I didn't know either fighter coming into this. I was watching it purely from just a fan point of view of I'm interested in what they're going to do, what is martial arts, mixed martial arts, what they're going to bring. And I thought that the BJJ from Munoz was incredible. Like, the stuff he was doing was elite.
That first round especially.
Yeah. just
Really good.
really impressive. So I didn't think that it was a 29-27. I was thinking because of the point deduction, we could be having another draw.
Yeah, I was going to say, because if he didn't have the point deduction, then the other fella still wins, which was a bit
which is
shocking
not
to
right.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was then like a 29-28, I would have been okay, fine. 29-27 seems crazy.
But he lost his O as well, another O that had to go.
Yeah.
So he's no longer undefeated. I mean,
but
he did deserve to lose, in my opinion. Maybe draw. I don't think he did enough to win.
I was expecting a draw.
Yeah, I was expecting a draw. It was we didn't get to see the name I kept insulting, Trevin.
I know.
It pulled out.
That fight pulled out, and there was 2 others that didn't happen as well.
Yeah, so Ed Herman versus Mick didn't happen because he got coronavirus. So Kevin Holland was shouting out. Kevin Holland fights at middleweight, and he was shouting out Ed Herman at light heavyweight, saying, "Hey, we both lost our opponents. Let's go." But obviously, wasn't going to happen.
And the Ray Borg fight as well.
And the Ray Borg fight, yeah.
So
it was quite a quick card, to be honest. It wasn't.
It was
pretty fast. I think I finished it at about 4 a.m. English time, which normally goes on to... So in America, it started at 7. The prelim started at 7 p.m. and the main card starts at 9, which is so lucky for them. Prelim start at 1 a.m. and then main card at 3. But it was 12 till 2 yesterday for us. So it was at 2 a.m. was the main card. And I think I was done by 4. So 4 hours of fights altogether. It was normally 5.5 hours.
Because usually main event for us, if it's like a big card, we're looking at like staying up till like 5 a.m. at least for the main event.
At least.
And then maybe sometimes it's like by 6 o'clock we're actually finished.
You got to pull an all-nighter. To get close.
Which is hard to do when they're on as frequently as they have been lately.
If it was once a month, you could build up to it. You could work your sleep around or something. But every week, it's like, all right, Sunday's gone. I had to watch F1 today as well, so I'm just like, watching F1 like an eye open.
I was fortunate that I watched the prelim live, and then this morning I woke up and just went straight to the actual main card and watched that. Without touching anything else, without touching social media or anything. So I could still watch it without any news affecting the way I was going to watch it.
Yeah.
Because I hate it. It's the worst thing when you open up Instagram and boom, there's a picture of just Vicente Luque. And I'm just like, So fortunately, I didn't have to do that.
We can talk about Vicente Luque as well, kicking out Randy Brown's tiny calves. Oh, I was just like, his calves are so small.
From the very beginning, just chopping the calf kicks.
He had his moments though, Randy Brown. He did well. Busted him open. That jab.
I actually think, I was actually going to say to you that this was a tougher fight for Vicente Luque than I thought it would be. So I think Randy Brown has definitely got a really good future in the division. He just needs, more. Just needs to develop himself. Vicente Luque is, for some reason, not as high in the division as he should be. Like he is, I don't know.
Every chance he's had, I think, at taking a higher opponent, he's unfortunately lost. When he went close with Stephen Thompson.
Okay, but he's won his last 6 fights in a row?
No, he beat Nico Price, and before that, lost to Thompson. And then he got a win, and then he got a controversial win over Mike Perry. That was very controversial. So I thought Perry won it.
And the Thompson one was a decision anyway as well. This marks Vicente Luque's 11th knockout.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And it was the knee as well. So when he rushed in, picked up the knee to the bottom of the jaw, smashed him, goes down.
That's it, yeah, because he tried to put both hands on the mat. And Luque stripped his wrist away. He stripped his wrist away. Yeah, you're thinking of Martinez versus Frankie Saenz. Yeah,
because I knew there was 2 knee finishes. Vicente Luque held the head up of him, so he couldn't put his hands down, and his hands were just glancing off the canvas.
Literally millimeters off. It was a brilliant. The referee needs credit for that because he could have easily gone, time out.
Yeah, and he was desperately trying to reach to the floor, and Vicente was like, nope, pick your head up, knee to the head, just like wow.
It was good. Just finished him.
Yeah,
that's why I hate that freaking law that if you put your hands on the mat, suddenly I can't be hit in the face. It's like, why? So many fights would just protect your face. I hate it. I hate it. There's so many weights, so many rules I would change in MMA. But
there's a lot of things that I find particularly funny. One of them to mention, which is for this card especially, is the nut shots.
Yeah, every time Paul Felder was like, that's 10.
Yeah, I think it was 10 or 11 at the end. And I think it was 4 by the second fight. Like, it was just, there were so many of them. And I find it really funny that there just happens to be, just among people and among men, just this idea of you get hit in the balls, you just get a breather, you get 5 minutes. And it's just this weird idea that, like, we know that's a vulnerable place to get hit, and they are wearing cups, but it's just like, and this
it hurts with a cup. Still hurts with a cup.
Yeah, I've never been hit in the nuts with a cup, so I don't know. But
imagine a cup hitting your balls. Then you're getting kicked by a cup with the speed of a shin hitting the cup, and the cup hits. So it's like, and some cups are plastic. Some people wear steel cups. So,
are you still allowed to wear steel cups in the UFC?
Yeah. Yep, okay. You can still wear steel cups.
Some people are using them for leverage, you know.
Yeah, like you get an armbar or something, yeah.
Painful.
Kenny Florian used to do that. Genius.
Also about, you know, if you weigh heavy on top of someone and you're pushing your hips into them, maybe you've got a steel cup pushing into someone's chest, into their sternum. It's just like...
It's all, if it's legal, why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vicente Luque looks good. I don't know who's next for him in the welterweight division. So you got in the top 10, unless you just want to put maybe Vicente Luque. Hey, do you want to stop a hype train? Do you want to fight Khamzat? If you could do that, because the 10 to 15 range in welterweight right now is Robbie Lawler's in it, Anthony Pettis is in it, Vicente Luque's in it, Nate Diaz is in it. This off the top of my head now.
Oh well, that's who he called out. He called out Nate Diaz at the end.
Right, but he's ranked lower than him. So if he's after money, you'd call out Diaz. But he's not a name that would bring Diaz out of his bed. Diaz isn't after rankings. He's after money.
Fight you once.
Yeah, they ain't getting it. Nate Diaz is never fighting Vicente Luque.
No. Diaz wants the money fights, if anything. Otherwise, he's just going to sit back and smoke. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he wants McGregor 3 or probably a rematch at Jorge. I wouldn't want that one for him. I think he could do well in McGregor 3, pack on the pounds, try and outweigh him. Yeah. Get some welly behind his shots.
Fight between those two, so.
And even if he loses, he still walks away minted. You know, he take away millions.
Also, neither of them, you know, Diaz or McGregor, have had many fights in the last 2 years. You know, so they're in similar positions. So it will be good for them to go at it. I think that'd be good.
I think so. Yeah, not bad.
Vicente Luque, who knows? Maybe it would be a good idea for him to have Khamzat, because I said before about Khamzat coming up, I don't want to see him in a top 10 fight, but I said a top 15, top 20.
Well, the top 15, can you see him against Anthony Pettis, Robbie Lawler, Nate Diaz, Vicente Luque? They're four. I can't remember the other one.
It's just crazy to imagine those guys on.
I wouldn't mind seeing him against Robbie Lawler or something like that. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Haven't seen Robbie Lawler fight for a while.
Since Ben Askren, right?
Yeah, and that was an awful fight that just ended really quickly, unfortunately.
Ended dodgy, didn't it?
It did end dodgy, but
you still have mixed reviews against that.
Lawler in that fight. Yeah, I've changed my mind back and
changed
forth.
it. Yeah, I just hate Ben Askren so much. I just feel so bad for Robbie Lawler. I think Herb Dean again in that fight made a really good call. Like, he looked out. You can't take the risk. You can't just let him keep going just in case he's not out. So, again,
he looked out. His arm.
From that footage we saw the other day. Yeah, that's when the arm does that. It doesn't mean you're fine. Oh, I'm having a rest.
Replaying that over and over on the night as well. What the discrepancy was over was that the second time he looked like he lifted his thumb. And that was where they wasn't sure. And then obviously because he popped up so quickly.
That's just air. Yeah, just getting air back.
It was the blood choke, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, straight to the brain. It was
that quick.
Yeah, it's like getting an adrenaline shot. Have you ever seen it? Whenever I got choked in jiu-jitsu, I've seen it when I've done it to people as well in a bow and arrow choke or something. You've got or a collar choke, you've got the squeeze so tight, and and then you look at, they're up, and it's just literally that second. It's happened to me. I've been like, what was that? And then someone said, you went out. And I was like, I did? What? I didn't, what? Did I? And you just forget.
Yeah.
You don't know. You can't argue the thing. If you're out, you can't argue it. You don't know. That's why you need recordings.
Robbie also didn't argue it. Robbie got up and was like,
yeah, it's like, fair enough. Here's what it is.
Yeah.
So, good on him.
Other fights on this card. I'm not too interested in talking about it that much. Is the Jo Jo Maia.
Don't. Poor JoJo. Poor JoJo. Oh, I feel bad for her. Maia looked fucking brilliant. She looked brilliant.
She did. She looked really good.
Her boxing looked so... She looked better than she's ever looked. She looked like she'd just taken steroids. She looked jacked. She looked two classes bigger than JoJo. JoJo looked stale. She looked like she hadn't been training, but apparently she'd been training her ass off. So
her jiu-jitsu as well is amazing. Like her control, she got that armbar from the bottom by keeping her down by holding her leg until she was ready for it. And then when she was like, okay, I've got it, then let go of the leg and took the arm. And it was like, wow, that was really good. And then even still, when JoJo was turning her hand to get out of the arm bar, she was pulling it across herself and tucking it under her arm to make it even tighter. And it was like levels.
Yeah, black belt. Yeah.
Yeah, just really good.
I don't know how decorated in jiu-jitsu Joanna is, but it's not going to be to Maia's level. Even if she's a black belt, for instance, Maia's like black belt.
Yeah.
There's different levels of black belt then. You know.
Yeah.
Maia's a black belt, but if she got in a jiu-jitsu fight with what's her face? Mackenzie Dern would choke the shit out of her. She's that much better. I can't remember. I think it was Talis Lates years ago. Joe Rogan commented because he had someone's back in a choke, and he's got one arm in, and the guy's holding him like a seatbelt, it's called, and then he's covering his other arm like this. So Talis loosens one of the hooks and kicks the arm off and traps the guy's arm with one leg, and then he chokes him. So he's using one leg to hook. He's got so much strength, and with the other leg to hold the guy's arm back. And then Joe said,
did he have a body triangle before? And then, or did he have hooks?
Nope.
Both hooks?
No, just both hooks. And he just lifted one hook up, took an arm, stripped an arm away, and then I think Rogan's famous quote that I always remember is, he's a black belt that chokes black belts. Like, that's the level he's at. So, yeah, it's one to quickly forget for JoJo. She's going to lose that rank 3. Maia will jump up to rank 3 now, and if Maia can beat, say, Jakagian or someone like that, she'll get the title shot.
I think it's looking like she could already get a title shot.
Yeah, she might. But
Shevchenko also tweeted about her, saying, I'll see you soon. And we know that there's a lot that are injured, including Shevchenko. But I think by the time it comes around where everyone's sort of ready to fight again, she could go straight to Shevchenko. And
yeah, she might do.
I still think Shevchenko kicks her ass, though.
No question. No question. No question. When you get hit by a baseball bat, you know, that's what it is. It's like all the other girls have foam rollers and she's got a bat. That's the difference. She's just too good.
She's got an aluminium bat.
JoJo's just going to, you know, she's already said, if I lose this, you know, I have 2 more wins or something, I can get back into that question. It's worth a risk. Because everyone said, why would you risk this? And she's taken the risk. It's not paid off. She's now 14-5 as a record. Ain't that bad. She, you know, better than getting killed by Shevchenko.
Yeah.
You know, why get to the top? Because if you fight for the title, lose, it's a long way back in those divisions. If you lose to a girl at rank 6 and then get 2 wins together, if there's no one else, you'll go straight back up. You can't just put 2 wins together and go back. Yeah. So same as Chikagian. She lost to Shevchenko, then she won her last fight. Now she thinks, okay, we'll 1 or 2 more. She's still ranked number 1. She'll get back in there. And it's fine. So there'll be plenty of time to have another crack at her.
Although we were both saying last week how Shevchenko will still be waiting for JoJo after she wins this fight.
Yeah.
So we were both wrong.
Yeah. I thought JoJo wouldn't look as slow and sloppy. Even her teeps didn't look that good. She just looked a bit, I don't know, disorientated. I don't know. She didn't look herself. She didn't look her, you know, she's normally high up. You can't see my knee's going up. Her knee is full bouncing all the time, proper Muay Thai stance, you know, full guard, you can't see my face kind of Muay Thai stance. But this time it was just like kind of, oh, just Darren Tilling it, if that's what I mean. But she's not. But she hasn't got that karate style. You know, Darren has the karate style with the Muay Thai kicks, but it's a bizarre one. But no love lost. It was a shit fight. I was miserable through the whole. Yeah,
I'm not too interested in it. But
what was a good fight, and I was on my feet for a lot of it, was Lando Venata versus Bobby Green. Now it was a rematch.
It was. I didn't know that before because
I knew it, but I couldn't remember it, so I had to refresh my head after our last preview show, and I went and watched it. And Bobby Green wasn't fit for the fight, but still won. This time he was fit for the fight. Was it a draw?
The first fight? Yeah.
That was it. Okay.
I remember the commentary saying that it was draw and that this fight there would be a winner.
That's it. Yeah. So Bobby Green looked great. I look forward to seeing him again. Used his reach brilliantly, and I think the takedowns were the difference. Lando had no interest in trying to take him down or perform MMA, as it were, be a mixed martial artist. Bobby Green had everything. He was trying for the takedown. He was trying to advance position on the ground, and he was landing shots. So that was perfect for the judges to see as well. He was outstriking him on the feet as well. He dropped him 3 times. Lando dropped him once. So it was a good fight. They were trying to take each other's heads off. But
yeah, I mean, from my perspective, the first round was really, really close. And then second and third, Bobby just started to have more fun with it. And
when he got hit with a jab, he was like, woo! He was talking to him. Yeah.
And Venata was just maybe not able to keep up. And Bobby was just ended up landing more and more and more, just carrying away the fight. But yeah, that was an amazing fight. It went to decision though, right?
It did. Bobby Green unanimous.
Yeah. But
rightfully so.
It just shows that they are very similar in the way they fight, and very close. And I haven't seen the first fight they had, but I can sort of understand why they may have had a draw. And this night, Bobby just had it. It was his night.
Yeah, Bobby looked good. He looked really good. Sometimes I don't want them to be interviewed because you see their personality, and he's like, oh, it's really boring. And he's got some like awful beard where it's like slits.
Mate, I loved it. I thought that was so cool.
Oh, mate, you would.
Like it was like teeth.
Yeah, it looked like something out of Marvel. That's why.
Crazy Wolverine looking thing. Yeah. That's exactly why.
Yeah, that's why. Marvel. Oh,
it just looked cool.
Who else did I have on here? I think that's it. Oh, other than Frankie Saenz versus Jonathan Martinez, which was an awesome fight. The kicks by Martinez were awesome. Frankie Saenz needs to retire, man. Go retire. You're 40 years old.
That's the fight I was getting mixed up with the knee finish.
Beautiful.
Incredible. Martinez
dropped him 4 times? Amazing. Head kicks?
Yeah. But Saenz just kept coming back. And then it was really, what was it? It was the end of the second or third.
We finished him in the third, so it'd be the end of the second.
Yeah. Just it was just a really enjoyable fight to watch, and I didn't know Martinez before, and now that's someone I'm going to watch because I watch all the fights anyway, but that's just someone that I'm really going to pay attention to.
Only negative is he missed weight. He said it would never happen again, but it's like. That's another rule I want to add to MMA. I might make a video on that. The rules you want changed. One of my rules is wins, losses, draws, no contests, missed weight. I want it on a record. I want to embarrass you because you got one job.
Right.
That's the hard bit. I want people to know you miss weight. Not 30% money's nothing. You'll find it. Who cares? 30%. 80%. It would be like, take all of it. You missed weight. You missed, like, the other person has killed themselves and you've gone, I'm not going to do those last few pounds. I'd rather have the weight advantage to defend takedowns or whatever.
Yeah.
Feel healthier for the fight. And it's like, that's not what you signed up for. If you want to feel healthier, go up a weight class. Make the weight you're in. So I hate it. I hate seeing, you missed weight again. I'm like, like when Till missed weight, Till said afterwards, hey, it was a few pounds. Give me a break, someone like that. And I was like, no one's giving you a fucking break. So many people I know, I like miss weight, and I'm like, can't support.
Also, I could kind of understand if this was on Yas Island because a lot of the fighters were flying in, say, 5-6 days before the fight, and you have a lot of travel.
If it was a pound over or something, maybe. Yeah.
So if it was on Yas Island, you fly in literally like 6 days before, and then you're isolated in your room while they do all the COVID tests. So the opportunities you get to actually trying to exercise, cut weight, all of those things are really narrowed down. And yet, I don't know if anyone missed weight on Fight Island.
I can't think of any. Even Figueiredo didn't.
No, I can't think of anyone. So everyone did incredibly well for that. So there really isn't an excuse, especially if you're back at the Apex fighting in Vegas, and this not the same rules at all as there was with the international travel. So you didn't really have an excuse.
Yeah,
it's laziness.
It is. Well, you're cutting too much weight. You need to stop. Go up a weight class. Or
Yeah.
Whatever it'll be.
Laziness is sort of naive in a way. It's there's different reasons for it, but
it could be tactical as well. Do I sacrifice this fight? Does he have something on me? It could be doubt. It could be anything.
Yeah, if he's thinking he's not going to win, then why not just
sacrifice some money?
Go all the way. Yeah, and get the win.
Yeah.
Because then you're right. Because if it's then not on the record showing as how many times they missed weight, etc., then it just looks like you got a win over Science, and that's it.
Exactly. A year later, no one remembers he missed weight. In the future, no one's ever going to see Darren Till beat Stephen Thompson, but Darren Till missed weight for that fight by 3 pounds or something.
Yeah.
No one will see that. They'll just see, I beat Stephen Thompson. It's like, yeah, but he missed weight as well. Don't forget that. So, plenty to talk there.
As we know, when most people miss weight, they win.
Yeah, the record is ridiculous.
Makes a big difference. So
it's like 90-something% of people that miss weight and carry on fighting win. Stupid. But yeah. Would you like to know your results for your main?
There's two other fights I do want to cover because
I had
so much more. I had so much more fun. There's only 2 other fights to talk about, so we may as well talk about them.
Talk to me. Go on. What ones?
I had so much more fun with the prelims than I did with the main card because with the main card, I don't know. I loved the Vicente fight and I loved the Edmund SHAHBAZYAN and Derek Brunson fight, but I had more fun with the prelims, even though I didn't know who they were. So to anyone that watched prelims fights that you don't know who they are, you definitely should be, because Jamal Emmers against Cachero, that was an amazing fight as well. That was
it was a punchback, wasn't it?
Oh my god, that was insane. Cachero took so many knees, so many kicks. Like he took nearly 100 shots to the head, or just over 100 shots to the head.
I think it was over by the end. Yeah,
wasn't wearing it at all. Not a single bruise. I think maybe a tiny cut towards the end, but like
I think it was just Mouse's. He was just getting bruised, like a couple
well,
swelling.
Bad bruising. It wasn't even bad bruising. Like I remember seeing the cut man going to him, and I'm thinking, there's nothing even there. Like
he was just putting the iron on his face.
This many shots. Yeah. It was just like, so Cachero is a beast just for being able to take that kind of damage. And Emma's is insane for being able to deal it. Like the clinch with the knees, just so impressive. All of it, an incredible fighter to watch. And all round as well, because he was then also still taking down. He was also going for submissions.
He never stopped fighting for that finish, did he? 15 minutes of the same pace.
Never.
He did not stop. It was really good to watch.
And although I'm new to him as a fighter, according to commentary, he hadn't been 15 minutes before.
Really?
Or maybe very few times. So it was a really good learning opportunity for him to see how he could push himself. So yeah, right up until the last second, he was still fighting to finish, and that was just really impressive. I really enjoyed that.
Passed that test, didn't he?
Yeah, that was amazing. And then the last one to mention, which was really unusual for a first fight of the night, was let me get the names. It was Gutierrez and Durden.
Okay.
As the first round,
the actual draw. This was the draw fight.
Yeah, this was the draw. Because the first round, he completely just gave it away. spent pretty much the entire round on his back, hands over his face, just stopping that rear naked choke from coming in. And Devin was just holding his back and little punch and just try and choke him.
A perfect grappler's 10-8 round. Yeah.
Yeah. But Gutierrez just sat there like this.
Yeah. He had no answer, did he?
For like 3.5 minutes, did nothing. So, of course, that was a 10-8 round. And then second and third round were all Gutierrez. And it was like, well, you can't argue that these 2 rounds are 10-9s, which is obviously how we got the draw. And the final round, round 3, Gutierrez looked amazing. Like, he really turned it up. He was really going for it, which made it sad to see that it was a draw because of how well he did, especially in the end. But he gave up the first round. It's his own fault. What was he doing? So, just an interesting one to note, really.
Yeah. I thought he tried. The last minute was the only time I saw him trying to chase a finish. The rest of the time he was kind of saying to himself, or it looked like going, it will come, the finish will come. Don't rush it. Almost he's like listening to his corner well.
Yeah.
But it kind of runs out like maybe he wasn't aware that it was a 10-8 round, the first one.
Yeah. He thought he lost 1 and won 2.
Yeah, which is fair enough. But I mean, you cannot complain with that. The guy came in as well in a few days' notice, Durden.
Yeah. He was gassed.
He gassed after the first round. He was in the corner. He was breathing out his mouth, his nose, his ears, eyes, everywhere. He needed an oxygen. He had an IV walking into the third round. But he literally, he said he threw like 20 significant strikes in the third round, and Gutierrez threw like 35, 40. And I was like, when on earth has he even thrown one?
Threw anything.
He didn't throw nothing. I was like, what are these stats? Some of these stats, significant strikes. I'm like, does the UFC...
What counts as significant?
That is what I'd like to know. A significant strike to me is something that changes the fight. That's significant. Everything else is just trading. So...
Yeah, so I mean, it could be a number of things.
People have like 100 significant shots in a fight. And I'm like, why is the guy not dead then? Like 100 significant shots. If they're significant, they would have done something. The guy didn't take 100 significant shots and they've done nothing. Like that can't be right. So it's a bit extreme.
Shot. It should cut you. It should bruise you. It should wobble you. It should put you down.
Yeah,
like there has to be something.
Show effect.
Yeah. Like if you smack and it pings your head back, that's significant. If it's just a smack and you carry on, then that's not significant.
You just got hit.
It's a really big shot. It shouldn't be considered. He just absorbed it. It's not really significant. It's not. The significant shots are the ones that you get the replays of, the ones that change the flow. That should be significant ones.
It's a good way to put it. Changing the flow.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's just. That's it, really. That's it. It was only 8 fights, so
yeah, it was as I say, super short card. It was all right though. I didn't mind the card at all.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. As I say, especially the prelims. Watching the guys you don't know can sometimes be really interesting.
Yeah, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Bobby Green. Oh no!
You've just gone quiet.
Yeah, your mic went beep 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 beep.
Oh.
It's fine now.
Oh, there we go. I think it's just disconnecting slightly. We're good.
Yeah, it's all good now.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed watching Bobby Green fight. He was really good. I'm glad I didn't have to hear the name Trevin live on air. That was nice.
Not yet.
Not yet. But right, let's get to your main event. The main event challenge. Do you know how well you've done? Right, so we start with... Right, so Trevin Giles, Kevin Holland didn't fight, so we ruled that off. It's going to be low scoring points no matter what. Lando Venata versus Bobby Green.
Let me just say here, neither of us knew very much about these guys. So I picked one and you just immediately went for the other.
The main... Yes. Yeah, especially Kevin Holland, Trevin Giles. Three of them I didn't, but 2 or 3 of them didn't happen, so yeah.
Yes. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying about this fight. Yeah, I know you got this one, Venata lost, so you get this point.
Bobby Green, that's mine. So Lando Venata was yours. Bobby Green, 1 point. We both said Vicente Luque. Don't you worry. We're gonna have to add into the event challenge, like stopping, like the round and the technique.
Oh,
Yeah, like TKO submission or
Okay, well, I knew it was going to be like KO or TKO. Like he's got so many of them.
yeah, he does. Yeah, so we both got Vicente Luque. That's lovely. So 2-1 or 2-1. We both said JoJo, doesn't count. And then you said Edmund, I said Derek. So
Yeah,
I get a 3-1.
3-1.
It's just 3-1 going into it. So into week 3, I'm 9-4 up.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because you know what's really upsetting about that is that last week the points should have been mine, but the judges' decisions are shit. So at least 2 of the points from last week should have been mine. I'm annoyed about that. So yeah, I'm really losing.
It should be 7-6 to you. Oh, to me rather, instead of 9-4.
Yeah, it should be like 7-6, not 9-4.
Bad judges.
7-6 would sound a lot closer. It would make me sound like I actually know what I'm talking about with MMA. But
when I saw Derek came in slightly late into the fight, I was like, oh crap, I've really suck at this. Edmund's going to light him up. And then I watched the first 2 minutes of the fight and I was like, I got this.
Yeah, it was after the first 2 minutes I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As for the next, what will be the next one? The next UFC, which we'll do a preview for within a day or two, whatever it is.
Maybe Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah. Will be Derek Lewis versus Alexei Olenek. So submission versus one punch. The knockout king, the Black Beast, versus whatever he's called. Mount me, I'll strangle you, man. The guy with, I've got here written down, by the way, as a preview.
9 wins he's got.
46 submissions. 46 submission wins out of 59 wins. What the fuck is in his porridge? To squeeze. Oh, wait. I'm looking forward to it because there's some really good fights on there. Also got Darren Stewart fighting against Maki Pitolo and Omari Akhmedov versus Chris Weidman. So it gives me an excuse to rant about how crap Chris Weidman is again, which is lovely, and how much I dislike the All-American.
Once.
Lucky once. He was lucky once. Twice. Actually, he was lucky twice. Really lucky twice. But it is what it is. Right. That's all good here then. That's the end of it. Yep. Cool.
Cool.
Cheerio.
Till
Peace,
the next
peace.
time.